Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Are You Being Served? And this is Jeremy Lloyd's creation, a workplace comedy, decades before The Office made a splash, and across the pond here we have this British comedy. I remember watching this growing up with my grandmom, and when I saw that BritBox was a thing and I got it, and I saw that Are You Being Served was a part of it, along with keeping up with appearances, I was super excited to be watching these shows again. And I went through all 10 series of Are You Being Served, and it was a blast. And if you haven't checked out this show before, it gives plenty of laughs. Now, it is dated. There's definitely some things in it that are a little iffy, or maybe a little bit more than a little iffy. I remember seeing one particular episode where some blackface, and I'm like, oh my, this definitely came out like decades ago. And also there's a lot of misogyny. And the thing is, these characters aren't supposed to be necessarily very likable that do those kinds of things. And they're supposed to be sleazy. And boy, are many of the characters in the show very sleazy. And the show really works with that workplace humor of like racing to get to work on time and dealing with your coworkers and rivalries in the workplace and dealing with customers. Oh my god. And this show really captures all of the potential humor in that. It also gets big and obnoxious, like it deals with holiday parties, it deals with the lunchroom, it deals with all these different kinds of other things, all the way up to the final episode where it seems like they might be becoming pop stars. Because why the hell not? It's that kind of show. And it also has some depth with it when it deals with classism, because there very much is this different level of this department store. You have the workers that clean and do the facilities, and they're looked down upon by the other workers here, and there's some very rich people running Grace Brothers and young Mr. Grace, which is legitimately one of the funniest running gags of him and his very attractive, much younger nurses, and all of the horrible things that he says and does. And he's just a creepy little old man. And you have this show which is packed full of innuendos, like wall-to-wall innuendos. And Mrs. Slocum, who is the middle-aged woman working the women's desk, she talks about her pussy cat all the time. And of course, says things that are very, very much leaning into the fact that she might not be talking about a cat. And you also have Mr. Humphreys, who's very much gay. They never really like outwardly say it, but everybody knows, and his reputation precedes him. And there's so many fun moments with him, and you're looking at this show, and it really is about the characters. And the set of characters that they start off with, like I talked about young Mr. Grace, and you have Mr. Rumbold, who's like the most British looking dude ever. Big egghead, like big ears, and he's very much like the upper middle management kind of group here, and he is kind of an idiot. And he definitely has those moments where it's like he's always getting fooled by the group, like the main group. And you have, probably I want to start with Mr. Granger, because he was only in this for like half the show before the actor passed away. And he is the old guy, couldn't hear things, had been like, says things about his wife and stuff like that. And he's just like the funny older man, like he falls asleep during meetings and stuff like that. Brought up Mr. Humphreys, which John Inman is so fantastic. He's this scene stealer of this show. He is the heart and soul of this show, and I absolutely love him. You have Mr. Lucas, who is on for the majority of the seasons. Is like the younger, brasher, very horny salesman in the men's department, who's always hitting on Miss Brahms, who's the younger, attractive woman in the women's section. And she has like a Cockney accent and gets a lot of crap for that, especially from Captain Peacock, played by Frank Thornton, who runs the ship kind of thing. And he is a creepy old man, honestly, and he makes all these sexual advances on women and always trying to like hide it and stuff like that. And he's also like the jerk that's like all like by the book kind of thing. And there's a lot of running jokes with him and Mrs. Peacock and all the strange advances he makes on the women. And then, of course, Molly Sugden, who is Mrs. Slocum, with her crazy bright hair and all of those things. And she's just a blast to watch throughout the show. And you have Mr. Harnum, Arthur English, who's like the facilities guy, who brings a lot to this show, honestly, and I really appreciate him a lot, especially as the seasons go on when he gets bigger roles. But just taking a step back and really thinking about this show, there's so many laughs to have, so many crazy characters and situations. It's just start to finish, just a fun time. And this is one of my favorite sitcoms out there, and it's just packed full of laughs. And if you have BritBox, go check out Are You Being Served? All 10 seasons, around 69 episodes. Because it's British, so there's like 6 to 8 episodes a series. But those are my thoughts on Are You Being Served? Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.